All right, second sopranos. Here we go. We're going to look at our music for the Magnificat today. So I hope you've been listening to the pronunciation video I put up yesterday. On Sunday evening, I put up a pronunciation video. So you're going to want to listen through that, and then you're going to want to start this video where we're going to be working through the rhythms of the piece. So this top half, we're all going to sing together. So for now, let's just say this together. Magnificat, anima mea dominum. And now let's look down here together. You're going to need a trusty-wusty pencil because we're going to be writing in our rhythms together. Okay? So we're going to start here. This is a whole note. It gets 4 beats. Remember we talked about in choir rehearsal on Friday that we don't just count like we're in school, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. We're going to put an and between each of the words. This is to help with when we get into eighth notes, remembering that that eighth note is there. So we're going to write in the numbers per measure of each note value. Okay, so this is a whole note. Back to this, it gets 4 beats. So we're going to write 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now you'll notice that I put a little plus sign instead of the word and. Well, that's because as we get farther along in the piece, we realize there's not a lot of room to write stuff down. So we need to be able to write what we can above the notes. So we're going to use the plus sign in place of the word and. So here's a half note. Our next note, that gets 2 beats. So that's 1 and 2 and. This lovely little black filled in note is a quarter note. So that gets 1 beat. 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 and. Now remember, even though this is a half note that gets 2 beats, it's got a fermata on it, so it's going to be held out longer. Fermata. Remember our little eyeball from choir? So we're going to make sure that that gets 4 beats instead of 2 beats. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, now let's go to our second line. It starts out very much the same as our top line did. So it's 4 beats here for this whole note. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, we're going to keep coming over here. So this is a half note here, second soprano, so your half note. 1 and 2 and quarter, quarter. 1 and 1 and quarter, quarter. 1 and 1 and. Half note, that gets, you guessed it, 2 beats. 1 and 2 and there's our whole note again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So, once you've got your page all filled in correctly, now we can start speaking it together, okay? So, we're going to speak this in rhythm. You want to start speaking it before you start singing it because you want to make sure you have your rhythms all correct before you sing it, okay? So we're going to speak it together now. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now Mrs. Johnson messed up, so let's try again. Here we go. So it is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 1, 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's try that one more time. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Great job, seconds. Now let's go to singing. Okay, now that we've done the rhythms and we've written everything out on our paper, we're going to sing through this. Make sure you only start singing through this once you've been able to say the rhythms with me and you're pretty confident on how those rhythms go. When we were counting out the numbers, just saying the numbers out loud. So again, here's the top line. We're all going to be singing this together, so you can just sing that with me for now. Magnificat anima mea Dominum. Then you're the middle note in this whole chord. So you're the second note down. Always follow that second note. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Try that again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's try it one more time. 1 and, sorry. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Good job, seconds. Get her done.